Whenever I would go on my adventure trips, one of my highlights is that seeing rainbows. How many of you here love seeing rainbows? So beautiful, right? Different colors. And how many of you have seen double rainbows? Like whenever I would see double rainbows, I would just like be amazed, like, wow. Like this can't be fabricated by technology, right? Nobody could explain how like a double rainbow or rainbow would be created. It's really a sign that there is a God. And many people do not know what's the significance of the rainbow. They think that it's natural, but it is supernatural. And the rainbow points to our first reading today. It's the sign of God's covenant with Noah and his descendants, and to us also, who is part of the church. And the covenant is that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of a flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. This covenant that God made happened like many centuries ago. And yet the Lord is ever faithful. He's still showing that sign. He's faithful to His covenant. Hopefully the rainbow does not just point to the covenant, but also to Noah's ark. It should point to that, and also to the flood. The ark is the epic ark is the type of the church. Just the ark was the means by which Noah and his relatives were spared from the flood. So also the church is the instrument by which Christians are saved. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 18 and onwards, Christ also suffered for sins once for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, in order to bring you to God. He was put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the Spirit, in which also He went and made a proclamation to the spirits in prison, who in former times did not obey, when God waited patiently in the days of Noah, during the building of the ark, in which a few, that is 8 people, were saved through water. And baptism, which this prefigured, now saves you, not as a removal of dirt from the body, but as an appeal for God for a good conscience through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. St. Augustine says that the ark represents the primary means of salvation in the New Testament, the wood of the cross and the waters of baptism by which original sin is washed away. St. Augustine also said that, as we know, Noah, his family, and all the animals all entered the ark through a door on its side. It's in Genesis chapter 6, verse 16. This is also analogous to the way we enter the church through the side of Christ, which was pierced on the cross, releasing body and water. So St. Augustine said this, and its having a door made in the side of it certainly signified the wound which was made when the side of the crucified was pierced with a spear. For by this those who come to Him enter. For thence flowed the sacraments by which those who believe are initiated. That's why for us, whenever we see the rainbow, for us Christians, it should remind us that we need to really evangelize. There's a need to really evangelize so that people will receive the graces that they need in the sacrament. I'm not saying that those who will not come to the church will not be saved. No. Okay? But because they're not in the church, it's like playing golf. They have a bigger handicap. They have a bigger handicap. It's going to be harder. I'm not saying it's impossible. But for us who are in the church, we should not waste the graces that we receive. Because even though we're in the church, it's not guaranteed that we will be saved. If we waste all the graces that we receive, we won't be in heaven. So whenever we see this rainbow, it should remind us of Noah's Ark, the flood, and also the urgency to evangelize people.